I think of, with your question, the moment of Mac lying on the ground and you just hear the nature around her. It's like those moments where there's quiet, you know, but there's so much happening, and how sound could speak to that, and so much happening not just in the world, but inside of this character, even in this moment of quiet, you know? So yeah, I thought about that a lot, and that's what's coming up with your question.
And the second question was, what keeps your fire lit? Which I love that phrase, by the way.
I was really worried about that because people told me how hard it was going to be, and I remember my producer said, like, it's going to feel like the whole process is designed to kill you, and he was totally right. And I had a 2-year-old when I was prepping the movie and a 3-year-old when I was shooting it, and now she's 4, and it's like such a dumb thing to quote. It's an amazing book, but there's like, my childhood favorite book was The Phantom Toll Booth, and at the end of The Phantom Toll Booth, they've like done the whole quest or whatever, and then the like king has a secret or something. Anyway, but the secret is like what you just did was impossible, but they only know at the end that it was impossible, and I could cry talking. I feel like that's how I feel about this movie. Like, I couldn't do that again. It absolutely destroyed me. And also I had endless, and I don't know, like, the second we finished like the final DCP review, which was honestly like only like a month ago, I slept for like 5 days straight, and I realized that for 2.5 years I'd like been on a kind of like cocaine that my brain was manufacturing for itself. And I was so, but it's beautiful. Like, I was so energized, and I was so crazy, and I was so on fire, and I didn't forget anything, and I didn't drop any balls, and I can't believe it. And I don't know if it's just like pure fear and panic or love of the form or what, but it's almost like just even a month later, I don't quite understand how it all happened and how I operated on so little sleep for so long. How do you feel about it?
Speaking of so little sleep, I remember being on set. I wouldn't even need to set the alarm. I would just wake up in a panic.
Yes. I would wake up like at 4 a.m. even if we didn't have to be there till 8.
I know, and it's like, and I'm a deep sleeper. But I literally would just wake. I would not need to set an alarm, and not the healthiest thing. You know, it's a hard one. I think for me, because the days are hard. They can be hard, and it's beautiful, but hard, especially when you're shooting a lot outside, you know. But I think it's, during production is having good people around you, and like, of course, caring about what you're making, you know what I mean? And when the days are hard or when something falls out, like reminding yourself of why you're doing this. And for me, my pitch deck was a good reminder of that, or looking at inspirations. I made an inspirations deck with like photographs of my grandma's photo album, and looking at things like that really would be like, okay, I know why I'm doing this.
Well, totally, and it made me, it was so brutal that I was like, how do directors who didn't write this, like, who don't feel super close to the material do this? Like, I actually couldn't, I was like, this is so my movie, I wrote it, I'm one of the producers, like, it was so close to me, and it was still so brutal, and I was kind of blown away by the idea of like, what if I was just some like gun for hire who was like directing a screenplay I didn't even like that much. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So I felt very, very thankful that my first movie was something that was so dear and close to me and involved people I loved, and shooting in places that were important to me with extras who are people I know who are important to me. That did make it, yeah, in the really dark moments, feel worth it. Yeah.
That's a great place to close, yeah. Thank you everyone for coming.